Hello students, welcome to ShirtBack Academy. In our lesson today we're going to be continuing with Module 2 in our programming course. We're going to be learning about loops. In this lesson we're going to be doing the exercise Loops in Ice Age. Let's begin. For this lesson we'll have to access the code.org homepage. Once there, click on the Learn link in the top left corner. On the next page we're going to click on Grades K to 5, Learn More. Then we're going to click on Course D, and our lesson today is going to be number 7, Loops in Ice Age. Once you're there, we're going to click on the number 1, and we're going to begin our lesson. Our first couple puzzles will be a review of prior lessons, and then we'll get into loops. Here in our first lesson, it's telling us to help Scrat get across the ice to the acorn. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to count the path for Scrat to get to the acorn. Let's count how many blocks he needs to go. I counted 5. I'm going to bring over 5 move forward commands and connect them to our when run. I'm going to review my code, and then we'll go ahead and hit run. And our code works great. Well done. Let's click continue and move on to puzzle 2. Here in puzzle 2, our instructions are telling us to use a turn left block to get to the acorn. Let's trace the path for Scrat in the play space. We can see at the corner is where we will turn left. I counted 5 move forward blocks. I'm going to bring over 5 of those. That will take care of Scrat getting along the first part of the path. Then when he gets to the corner, we're going to have to turn left. Let's hit run and see how our program's working. Great, so far so good. To finish up, we're going to bring over and add 2 more move forward blocks. Now we're going to review our code, and we'll hit run. Great job. These first 2 puzzles have given us a brief review. Now we're going to watch our video to introduce us to loops in Ice Age.
This is a repeat block. It'll let you loop the code inside as many times as you tell it to. To a computer, code that you write like this looks just like code that you write like this. Now you know how to use a repeat block here and in other puzzles too.
In the rest of our puzzles in this lesson, we're going to be using loops. Let's click continue and move on to puzzle 4. Here in puzzle 4, our instructions are asking us to get to the acorn using just 1 move forward block. We're going to try to use a loop. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to count the path for Scrat. How many blocks did you count? I counted 5. The first thing we're going to do is bring over a repeat. This is what we're going to use to create our loop. Inside of the loop, we're going to bring a move forward. We're going to set the repeat at 5 times because Scrat needs to go 5 blocks. We can always change the number by clicking on the arrow. Let's hit run. And our loop works. Great job. Scrat needed a snack and you were able to feed him. Let's click continue and move on to puzzle 5. Here in puzzle 5, we have some existing code. Our instructions are asking us to add 1 more block to get Scrat all the way to the acorn. How can we finish our puzzle? Let's take a look over the play space and see the path that Scrat has to take. I'm going to bring over a move forward. Our second loop can't work unless Scrat can actually move. You'll notice that now in the code we have 2 repeat loops. Let's hit run and see how they work. You can see our first loop works, Scrat turns right, and now we do our second repeat loop. That puzzle showed us that we can use more than one loop in the same program. Let's click Continue and move on to Puzzle 6. Here in Puzzle 6, our instructions are asking us to add a loop to get to the acorn. In our code, we can see that we already have 2 existing repeat loops. Let's hit Run and see how the code works with the existing repeat loops in place. So far, so good. So now we can take a look at what remaining path Scrat needs to take. Let's count. I counted 4 blocks. We're going to bring over a repeat, set it to 4, and inside we're going to connect a move forward. Let's hit reset, and now let's take a look at our code. You should see a pattern. We have 3 repeat loops all set to 4 times. When we hit run, let's see how we do. Our first loop works. Second loop works. And so does the third. Well done. We're halfway through. Let's keep on coding. Let's click Continue and move on to Puzzle 7. Here in Puzzle 7, we have a little bit of a longer path. Let's trace it. The first part of the path, Scrat must go 4 blocks. We're going to bring over a repeat and a move forward. At the corner, Scrat is going to have to turn right. When we hit run, we see the first part of our code is working. We're going to count the second part of the path. Again, there's 4 blocks. We're going to bring over a repeat, connect a move forward, and then bring another turn right. For the final part, we're going to bring over 1 more repeat. That's for the final path to the acorn. We're not going to add another turn at the end because once we reach the acorn, we don't need to turn anymore. We're going to click Reset and review our code one last time. And now let's hit run. We can see our first loop works. We turn. Second loop. Turn. And third and final loop. Great job. You can see how using loops saves us time and space. Let's click Continue and move on to Puzzle 8. Here in Puzzle 8, our instructions are asking us to fix the code. We have a bug in it somewhere. Let's see if we can find it. In our workspace, we have 4 loops. Let's click Run and see how our code works at the beginning. We can see the first loop in the code works. We turn left. We do the second loop. Oh no! Scrat fell in the water. I think we found our bug. It looks like our bug is in the second loop. Scrat only went 3 blocks. He needs to go farther. He's going to need to go 5. We're going to hit Reset and double check our code. We're going to click Run. We may or may not see another bug. Let's find out. We see our first loop works. The second loop, this is where we had the bug. That works now. Third loop, and final. Alright, great. Our program worked awesome. No stopping you guys. Let's keep on going to Puzzle 9. Here in Puzzle 9, let's trace the path for Scrat to get to the acorn. For the first part of the path, we count 5 blocks. Let's bring over a repeat and connect a move forward inside. At the first turn, Scrat will have to turn right. For the second part of the path, we're going to bring over another repeat and connect a move forward and do a turn right. We can see that the first half of our path is the same. We're creating a pattern. Let's click run. We can see Scrat is moving through the first loop, turn right, and second loop. Now let's figure out the remainder of the path. We're going to bring over another repeat, but this time instead of 5, we're going to set it to 3, because that's how many blocks are in the short path. We're going to connect our move forward, and at the turn, we're going to turn right. To finish our puzzle, we'll have one more repeat and move forward. This one we also will set to 3. So now let's check our code. We now have 4 repeat loops in our workspace. The first 2 repeat 5 times. The last 2 repeat 3 times. Our code is getting long, but you can see even with this program code how much longer it would be if we did not use our repeats. In this code we have 12 blocks, but if we did not use a repeat at all, we'd have 26. Now let's hit run. Our first 2 loops are working, and so are the last 2. Great job, everybody. Let's go ahead and click continue and move on to puzzle 10. Okay, great, a challenge puzzle. Challenge puzzles are designed to stretch our brains. Let's see how we do. Here, the instructions are telling us to get Scrat all the way to the acorn. This is a windier, longer road than normal. Let's see how we do. In the first part of the path, we can count that Scrat must move forward 5 times. We're going to make a loop. At the turn, Scrat is going to turn right. Now we see a short part at the bottom. For this little part, we're going to do another repeat and set it equal to 2. We're again going to move forward and turn right. Let's review our code, and now let's click run and see how we're doing. We can see our first loop is working well, and so is the second. From here, we can count the path for the next stretch. I counted 5 blocks. I'm going to bring over another repeat and set it to 5. Now up at the top, we have another short section. This time at the corner, Scrat will turn left. And we're going to bring over another repeat and set this one equal to 2. You should start to see a pattern in our code. We're going to go over and hit reset and run. Now our code has 4 loops. The first 2 work. Our third loop is working, and so is our fourth. Now to finish our puzzle, Scrat must turn left, and in the last row, we're going to use one more repeat, and again set it equal to 5. Now let's review our code again. We can see it's getting pretty long. We have 15 blocks and 5 repeats. Let's click reset and run. We can see our first loop works, our second and third, and now our last 2. Really awesome job, everyone. That was a tough challenge puzzle, and you did great. 2 more puzzles, let's finish strong. Let's go to number 11. Here in puzzle 11, let's trace the path for Scrat to the acorn. To start, we're going to bring over a repeat and bring a move forward. At the first turn, Scrat will turn right. For the second part, we're going to bring over another repeat and set it equal to 2. This will take care of the short side of the path. At the second turn, Scrat is going to turn right also. We're going to hit run and see how our code is working. We see our first repeat and our second. Let's finish our code. The next part of the path, we're going to bring over a repeat and set it equal to 4 times. At the final turn, Scrat, this time, will turn left. To get to the final acorn, we'll bring over a last repeat and set it equal to 2. Now let's review our code. When we click run, let's see how our code works. Our first 2 loops work, as well as our last 2. Great job! Last puzzle. Here in puzzle 12, we have several different ways that we can get to the acorn. We have an open play space. Try to figure out a way to get Scrat to the acorn using the fewest number of blocks. We're going to trace a bottom path to get to the acorn. When I count my blocks, I count 5. I'm going to bring over a repeat, set it equal to 5, and bring a move forward. At the turn, Scrat is going to go left. I'm going to hit run and see how my code is working. I can see my first loop works well. Now to get to the last part, I count my blocks again, and again I count 5. I'm going to bring over a move forward. I'm going to hit reset and run. My first loop works, and my second does as well. Great job! If you'd like to try some other paths for Scrat in that level, hit click replay and continue with the level. Congratulations to everyone! We have now completed loops in Ice Age. That was a great lesson. If you have any questions about any of the puzzles, please find the appropriate time point in the video and review that section. We thank you for following along and enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Keep on coding.